Hello, everybody. Welcome to Phil's Place. I am very excited to announce that I am going to be offering a whole new service for what I do for a living. I am going to be offering strategic communication solutions to any type of business. It could be a large company. It could be a small company. It could be in higher education. It can be in any industry. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I have a very strong background in strategic communication. It was basically, in my opinion, a big part of how we handle the admission cycle every season. And this goes back to when I first started working in higher education 31 years ago. When I started working at Point Park College, before it became Point Park University. I worked there from 1995 till 2006, early 2006. And then I moved over to Duquesne University. I took a role as Director of Student Services in our science school, but I was also highly involved in the admissions process on the science school end of things. But what I'm trying to say here is anytime there is a reason to communicate, it doesn't matter, again, the industry, there has to be a strong purpose for communicating, the reason why you're communicating, what kind of message you're trying to send. And also, when I was at Duquesne University, I did not earn the PhD, but I did PhD work, completed all the coursework in the rhetoric program. I opted to not take the comprehensive exam and to write a dissertation and to defend it. But these courses really helped me immensely when it comes down to the art of communication, the science of communication, the philosophical aspects of communication. And there's one particular theory that I studied very hard and wrote about that I really enjoy, and it's called media ecology. And I'll just read this real quick to you. Media ecology theory, which was pioneered by Marshall McLuhan and Neil Postman, it examines how communication technologies, the media, acts as environments that shape human perception, understanding, feeling, and behavior. And it was Marshall McLuhan who actually got me highly interested in this field. He summarized a phrase, and it's the medium is the message. And that was back in 1964. So if you think about 1964, what communication avenues did we have back then? Well, number one, I wasn't born until 1970, so I don't know. But I do know because you had television, which, came about in the late 1940s. You had radio, in which the first broadcast was actually here in Pittsburgh in November 1920. Yes, they announced the election results for the presidential election in 2020. And of course, that was pioneered here in Pittsburgh, which is many reasons why Pittsburgh is such a great place to have grown up, to have lived and raised, because there's so much that happened here in the history of Pittsburgh. And that's something I'll never take for granted. But anyway, so you had television, you had radio, you had billboards, you had newspapers, you had magazines, and you had the telephone. Those were the main modes of communication. And how was a company supposed to successfully advertise its business back in 1964? Which form of media was going to be the best outlet for these companies in 1964? So if I think back at it, it might be a series of large billboards if you're down Times Square in New York City or any city. It could be your radio ads. It could be your television ads, magazine ads, newspaper ads. That was it. And if I'm missing something, please let me know. But when you look at today's environment, there are so many outlets and there's so many possibilities that this is an area that I feel that I can really help companies who, I don't want to say are completely hurting for business, but who feel their communication line isn't strong enough. I will help companies dig into the true narrative of what that company is, the mission of the company, the vision statement of the company, and how we can get that message out. So this will be the third wing of Clarke Consulting Group, LLC. As you know, I have Phil's Place, my podcast. I will be talking more about these opportunities and my background in strategic communication in future podcasts. I have my travel agency, Clarke Travel, and I felt it was very important to add another component to Clarke Consulting Group. Strategic communication, here it is. I will be announcing the official launch date of Clarke Consulting Group. I am almost there. I have to build a website. I'm in the beginning phases of that. I've never built a website before, but I have a strong background in web communication and how to appropriately communicate. Listen to me. Here I am trying to sell communication strategies and I can't even talk. No, anyway, and keep in mind, I'm not working with a script. This is completely impromptu. So with that said, I do have a strong background in media communication, whether if it's internet, web communication, social media. Back in the day, it was letters written to prospective students, accepted students, parents of accepted students. It was brochures that we designed. Back then, we didn't have a way to fully send our message visually, effectively. So we used brochures, spent lots of time and money in photo shoots, writing down descriptions of a major, writing down descriptions of why a degree at Point Park University will benefit each student, even at Duquesne University, why a degree from Duquesne University, a science degree at Duquesne University will be the forefront of a student's success, whether if they go into medical school, graduate school, or if they go straight into industry, whatever the case is. So anyway, I am also working on pricing. I'm working on a strategy on how to get my business out there, but I wanted to at least send a message right now that this is going to be a new offering for me. And I will be ready, I say, by the end of next week or that Monday after. So that would be the 16th, the 25th of February at the latest is when I will be launching this wing of my business. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for giving your time to watch this. I tried to keep it short, but I do talk a lot, and I know that. So please wait to see and listen to new messages, and I'll be very, very excited to get this launched and up and running, and more than ready to help anyone out there who feels that they need to have a better communication line, a more strategic way of sending a message to clients, to the public, even internal communication, whatever the case might be. Okay, well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.